Hello everyone, this is Locke and welcome back to another video on the Great Builds YouTube channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at something I haven't done in a long time, and that's actually reviewing one of the coolest LEGO sets I've seen. And today we're going to be reviewing Lloyd's Green Forest Dragon, which is a set that retails for $19.99 in the US, and comes with 2 minifigures, 1 side figure, and this excellent dragon build that is really impressive in size. So let's get right into the review and take a look at this dragon now. The head here is the same, like, young Ryu head mold, but recolored in dark green this time, and aside from the fact that it's hollow underneath, this is actually a pretty good part, and it comes with some new printing on the side to resemble energy, which is kind of Lloyd's element, I guess. And it connects on a little tiny mixel joint to the neck here, which has some transparent green scales on top to resemble the elemental power of the dragon, as well as some golden whip pieces for the reins of the dragon. Now, well, I will say, these pieces are awesome to get in gold, and of course, you do get extras in this set, and that's always welcome, to get extras of really cool parts. Now, there's also a saddle on the back, and we'll come back to the main body later. On the tail, there's just the same techniques used on the neck, and on the back of the tail, there's 2 clips to hold 2 swords. Now, these could easily be taken off and given as weapons to minifigures, or just storage for those weapons for the minifigures as well, and I think that's always fun to get. Now, the wings here are probably the biggest thing about this set. Now, if you look at this set from a price per piece ratio, you're not going to like it. But if you look at the fact that these wings are humongous and look at all the cool other things that come in this set, this is extremely cool. You get this piece in 2 different colors in this wave, and it's new for this wave as well of Ninjago sets. You get in dark green here and in sand blue in another set that I'll take a look at later on. Now, you can also connect a little claw, and you connect these wing pieces onto the main body using Technic pins and ratchet joints, which is kind of cool. So you can pose them and bend them up and down a little bit, but that does affect the posability of this because they are big and the weight of the dragon would easily shift over to one side if you were to bend one up too far. Now, moving on to the body. Now, something interesting with this, actually, that I found is the main dark blue piece used on the bottom of this body is actually an airplane hull piece, which LEGO is finding many incredible ways to use this piece that aren't even on airplanes these days. There's a LEGO set that's in my LEGO City currently that uses it as, like, the base to a little, like, cart that you can pull around and sell accessories on. And here they're using it for the body of a dragon. And I personally like this because it's a very sturdy piece. So, of course, it's going to make sure that the dragon doesn't break if you accidentally drop it as easily. Now, the one problem with this dragon that I have is the legs. And that's because the legs actually attach to the body on ratchet joints, which is fine for stability, but they really made it hard for you to be able to pose this thing because of that. So I have some modifications I'll show you at the end of the video that should be pretty quick for you to be able to do that with. Now, they do have some Nexonite shields on the outside of each leg, and that's just for detailing, and they connect to the feet on ball joints, which is great, and there's little claws attached to the end of the feet as well. One downside I found is the feet are built completely sideways, meaning there's not an easy way to attach them to a base plate, and that could restrict range of motion if you really care about that. But that just about does it for this amazing dragon. It is a lot bigger than it looks, but let's take a look at the 2 figures and the baby dragon that comes in this set now. Now, this is the Lloyd minifigure in this set, and it's actually a combination of multiple different parts from previous Lloyd suits. We have the Tournament of Sources armor piece with 2 swords on it, so you can carry those around with you. The mech suit pilot head mold, or the helmet design, and then the face, torso, and legs are all from the original first wave of Dragon's Rising set. And now, this is kind of interesting because this is obviously not going to appear in the show like this, but I think the color scheme works really, really well with the dark green and the vibrant green usage here. So even though it's not really a canon suit, I think this is actually a really good minifigure. You also get a Dragonian Scout. These are new villains for the new wave of sets in January, and though we don't know anything about them in the show, There is two variants of them. This is the variant that comes with only one half of the helmet piece and a mohawk. The mohawk is in dark tan, and I've never seen it in that color before, so that's pretty cool. And they come with this really cool, like, metallic printing for armor, and this guy comes with a battle axe as well, which is cool. Also, something worth noting is that the back of the armor piece here has two studs, so you can actually attach things to it, and that is pretty cool, honestly. Now, another thing about this set is this little tiny dragon here, and this little tiny dragon is the Baby Ryu mold from the first wave of Ninjago Dragons Rising, but now it's been recolored in a new color scheme, and I think it's really cool. It uses like a honeycomb yellow, and it's like a very interesting color to use, because I don't think we've ever gotten a dragon that's fully in these colors before. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think this is pretty cool that we're getting a new type of dragon here, and of course, as printing on the side, and it's just a great inclusion to the set. Now, let me talk about the modification I was going to do to this set. Now, something you'll notice is that the one thing I had to complain about was the legs and how they're using ratchet joints. Well, it's a really simple fix. You just got to use some more mixel joints, and these come in a lot of sets, so they shouldn't be that hard to obtain. So let's go and replace these, and then take a look at the different poses you can get out of this guy with these changes. So now the modifications are done to this dragon here, and you can see that with the mixel ball joints, you can totally get in some different poses, and this particularly menacing pose looks very amazing, honestly. And it's surprising how sometimes only 4 pieces can change the entire range of motion a set can have. So if you have these pieces in your collection, I would highly recommend you change them out in this set so that you have way more ways to pose this guy. Now, what do I think of this set overall? This is probably the best set of the wave, if not the best set I've seen in a long time. Now, this is not only because the price is really good, but the actual size of the dragon you're getting here is insane. Sure, the molded wings do a lot to help with that, but I also think the building techniques used in this, along with the way that the dragon can actually be displayed, looks really good. Additionally, the minifigures are pretty good, despite the fact that the Lloyd minifigure isn't exactly canon to the show and is just a mix of parts. I feel like the LEGO group did choose the right parts to mix together to create a really cool figure. It's also an easy way to get the new Tournament of Sources armor piece, which is pretty cool. Additionally, the baby dragon is always a great inclusion, and I hope we get more different color variations of this guy now that we have him in this color as well. And overall, I think this is just a great set. The only reasons I would not recommend this set is if you're not a fan of the molded wings, because I know that some people might not like them as much. If you're not a fan of the hollow head molds, that might be something you can get past and buy anyway, but the only other thing I would say that you wouldn't want to get this set for is because of the fact that the legs just have that restricted motion. But as I said, it's a simple fix, so why not fix it anyway? So that just about does it for everything in this video. Definitely pick this up if you see it around. It is a great set. And of course, I have some other content coming up next week in the LEGO City where we're going to upgrade building and add more vehicles to the LEGO City. So stay tuned for that video, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.